I joined Legal Shield to be a Legal Shield man. I never had it on my wall when I was little. You know what I mean? You have fireman, you have all these astronauts. I didn't have Legal Shield man. You know what I mean? So, so people say, well, I'm just not that person. I wasn't that person. But it's a vehicle I use to be able to give more in missions and ministries more than I used to make in years combined. So I use it as a vehicle to fund my other dreams. Everybody with me? So some of you want to write books, some of you want to act, some of you want to sing, some of you whatever. Use this to fund those things, to give you the opportunity to do the thing you've been called to do, not the thing you have to do for $1. Okay. So why? Write down that reason why. Let me give you a quick example. Did the same presentation like this in Maryland, my home state, and there's about 40 people in the room. And I said, would anybody like to share their why? And the gentleman said, I would like to share my why. I said, sure. I said, what is it? He said, 10 grand a month. I'm joining Legal Shield because I need to make 10 grand a month. I said, it sounds good, but that can't be it. What do you want to do with the 10 grand a month? And he says, well, I want to buy a home. And I said, sounds good to me. Why do you want to buy a home? He said, I need more room. I said, why do you need more room? And he started thinking. And I said, if it's too uncomfortable from getting too personal, you don't have to share it. I know you're in front of everybody. He said, no, I don't mind. He said, I need more room because, my kids share a room right now. I said, how many kids do you have? He says, 3. I said, what's wrong with kids sharing a room? A lot of siblings grow up sharing a room. He said, because I have 2 boys and 1 girl. My daughter's getting older, and she's starting to get uncomfortable sharing a room with her brothers. I said, how do you know that? He said, because whenever I go in the room to kiss her goodnight, she says, Daddy, you're going to give me my own room soon, aren't you? And I said, what do you say? He said, I don't know what to say. I just said, yeah, baby, but I don't really know when I'm going to get that in my current situation. I said, how does that make you feel? He said, sometimes it makes me feel like a failure as her father. And I said, so is that what you feel when you walk out her room? He said, yeah, it's hard for me to even turn around because I don't want her to see the tears that are in my eyes because I just don't know how I'm going to do that for her. I said, that feeling you have right there, that's your reason why. And when you're afraid to pick up the phone, to call that person, or when you're thinking about not coming out to the presentation, I want you to say, this one's for my baby girl's new room. And you do it anyway, in spite of the fear. Because I didn't lose the fear in order to do the things I'm doing today. I faced it, embraced it, and did it anyway. Everybody with me? I don't want you to think, I'm going to wait for the time. People say, I'm going to wait to get pregnant at the right time. When is the right time to get pregnant? I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. My point is people waiting to win. Somebody tell them, I'm going to do this win. Like it makes it easier win. And it's the same challenge that exists. So I just want you to know, it's just a progression. Success is not an event. It doesn't happen because you do it and all of a sudden success comes. It's progressive. So you learn, you grow, you become, you attract. So you can't chase success. It will elude you like the butterfly. You must attract it based on who you become. And becoming takes time. Am I right about that? Mm-hmm. It takes time to become better at anything. No matter what you do, whether it's a sport, whether it's a profession, whatever you do now. If you've mastered what you do right now, whatever you do as a career, if you master that, you probably have done it for hours. And you spend time, people think you're crazy, talking in the mirror, becoming better at what you do. Am I right about this? Right. And so I've mastered Legal Shield because I've spent tens of thousands of hours growing myself and facing the objections that I'll talk about right now. So the very thing I wanted to avoid helped me to become more successful. The thing I wanted to avoid were objections. People saying, oh, that ain't going to work. Oh, how do I know this is not a scam? So I wanted to avoid that. But the very thing that helped me to become better was facing that. Mm-hmm. Because the more of it I received, the more I was able to handle it. Because when someone said it, I was able to go back to my mentors and say, look, when someone says this, how should I respond? It's unsure. And say, oh, you just say this. Oh, when I'm sharing a membership and someone says this covered, how do I handle that? And you go to a training, they share with you. And then I got better. But I only got better because I knew how to handle it. But how would I know what to handle if no one ever objected? Like, let's say I've never had any objections, like ever, since I started, 15 years. Every time I talk to them, hey, before you talk, yes, I want it. Like, I've never had any objection. Like, every presentation, like, hey, stop. Yes. I wouldn't be able to teach you anything. Because you would come up and say, I got these questions. What happens? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with you. You'll lose it. That's all I would do. Right? I was like, look, to me, I don't know what's wrong with you, because everyone always says yes to me. It would. So the thing is, the reason why I can speak with people is because I've been at every level. I've been to the place where I wasn't able to feed my kids, which I don't wish that upon anyone. It's a tough feeling as a man when you can't provide for your family. And I don't wish it upon anyone. But I know what that's like. And I thank God for that season of preparation, I call it. Because I was there, I could speak with people, not down to people. If I've always had money, sometimes unintentionally we speak down to people. Like we're better than them. Because I've been there, I know what it's like for someone who says, look, I have no idea where my next dollar is coming from. I've been there. But I also know what it's like to make millions. so I can speak with the professionals who say, look, I make millions. Well, so do I. Everybody with me? Mm-hmm. And so I'm thankful now for every level, which I wasn't, trust me, when $20 was $1 million to me. $20 was gas, and I used to pray that the fumes would get me to the next location. So my why, your why. I got a strong why. I want you to have a strong why. My why pushes me. It gets me to do things like this. And listen, some of you think, listen, it's easy for you because you have money. No, 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 no. It's harder when you have money because you don't have to do it anymore. For my professionals in the room, you know what I'm talking about. When you're making money, you're sleeping in silk pajamas, you don't have to get up. So it takes even more to get up when you don't have to. When I was broke, man, it's something getting me up because I couldn't sleep anywhere. I was looking at the ceiling. You know what I mean? I had tears in my eyes. It's hard to sleep. People say money doesn't matter. You can't sleep when you don't have money. You can't even focus because you're so distracted. You don't even want to open up the mailbox because the envelopes are different colors when you don't have money. You have no idea what I'm talking about right now. You have no idea. Because y'all have money all your life. And those who have it, you know what I'm talking about. When they get pink and blue, they're serious. Y'all serious now, it's pink. Okay, I got you. All right, so number one, write down your reason why. Got it? Reason why. Number two, I gotta hurry up now. Number two, just make out a list. Everybody you know, don't prejudge. People you think will, won't sometimes. People you think won't, will. You never know. People say, well, listen, should I talk to my pastor? Should I talk to my best friend? Should I talk to my coworker? I don't know. Because I don't know who's praying for an opportunity right now. I don't know who needs this membership right now. So it's hard for me to tell you what demographic, who to talk to, because you just don't know where people are, because a lot of people hide where they are. Look, I have friends that drive Mercedes, live in a beautiful home, but they needed this. And I didn't even know they were in need. You know what I mean? They were masking where they really were. They were frustrated. Many of them were making multiple six figures, but they had no time. And the harder they worked, the less time they had, because the more they made, the more their lifestyle required more time. So my point is, it was really tough for some of them. But I didn't know they needed that kind of time. And so I approached them and said, man, you have no idea. I'm so tired of my daughter saying to me, Daddy, how come you never make it to any of my cheerleading practices? And I refuse to go another year without making it to a practice. I need this because I need my time leverage. My point is, I didn't know that. They didn't have a post-it on their head saying, I'm the one, talk to me. So you don't know. So the key is not to convince anyone, not to spend a whole bunch of time trying to fix people, but just to expose people to the information. Let them come out and see it. They may or may not be interested. They may say, look, I just want to make an extra $300 a month right now because I'm looking to accomplish this. Hey, look, really, I need to make six figures because I'm used to a six-figure lifestyle, but I'm not happy earning six figures for what I'm currently doing. You just don't know where people are, so don't prejudge. People you think make a lot of money and won't do it, sometimes will be the first people to do it. Sometimes people don't have any money. You're thinking, oh, they're going to do this because right now they're on public transportation. They don't have any. You're thinking, no, they're definitely going to do it. But sometimes those are folks who say, oh, I ain't doing it. But they really need it. Yeah. So my point is, you just don't know. So be careful. Prejudging is all I'm saying. I had a list of over 100 people on my list. Only one person is with me today. Wow. So I don't want you to think everybody on your list is going to join. And some of the people that will join, I don't want you to think they're all going to stick with you. Okay, this is the real deal. I know most trainers won't tell you like this. I'm telling you the real deal because I want you to know when it happens, you can say, oh, he said it was going to happen, so that it doesn't discourage you. It empowers you. Everybody with me? Tell you a quick story because I tell a lot of stories. I've already told three. And so I'll never forget, I was watching. I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but when I do, I like to watch things that empower me, or I'll watch the Animal Channel for whatever reason. So it was this sermon on, right? And don't take the religion out, I'll take the story out of it. But this gentleman was speaking to God because he was at this threshold, it was like an invisible doorway, and he was in his 60s, and he says, God, you let me get to this stage of my life where I can now see all my dreams and almost touch them. Time to spend with my grandkids, in the beach home I've always wanted, and all the things he'd asked for all his life, but he's in his 60s now, and God finally allowed him to almost touch it, but yet not have it. So out of frustration, he looks to God and says, God, how come you wait for me to get to this age and now almost touch it, but not have it? And God said, because you are with people that I won't allow with you on the other side of the door. And until you let them go, I won't let you go. And my point is that there's some people who can't appreciate what you have on this side of the door and certainly won't appreciate it on this side of the door. And so sometimes we're forced to let people go. And so with certain things that had to happen to me, and you may get upset about it, you may have some distrust and say, oh, I can't believe that was my friend, my sister, my whoever. But sometimes you're forced to let certain people go so you can have certain things to go back and help those people who were holding on to you. In my neighborhood, they call it sellout. Because I stopped going to the same places, stopped reading the same type of stuff. I started reading personal development books. I was becoming more. So all of a sudden, my language was different. And they were saying things, man, you a sellout, man, you ain't hanging out with us at the club. And it's because my mentor said sometimes you got to sell out and leave out in order to come back and help out. and what we're able to do in the communities now, how we're able to give back now to young men and coach and mentor and teach, I wouldn't be able to do that if I held on to the same guys. Everybody with me so far? Sometimes in your family. My father used to say, "You rich yet?" This used to drive me crazy. I was in for 3 months. "You a millionaire yet, son?" I'm like, "Dad, I've been in for 3 months. You've been working for Metro for 30 years. Ain't rich yet." I didn't say that, but I wanted to say that. Because my family didn't believe in timeout. You'd be knocked out. That was the way it was. My point is that my family was hard. So I had to limit my association talking to my own dad. Because it would affect me. Late at night, when I wasn't having success yet in Legal Shield, I'm thinking to myself, maybe my dad is right. Maybe my friend is... So it finds root. That negative seed will find root if you're not careful. So why let someone sow a seed when it can find root at some point? Now, when you're having success, it's a little different because your skin is tougher. But when you're not having success, you start to think, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe I don't speak fast enough. Maybe I'm right. All these different things enter your mind. So be careful. All right? So make out your list. Don't prejudge. You just never know. Now, on this list, by the way, everything we're going over right now, you can find online. It is at www.legalshield.com/start. www.legalshield.com/start. And it'll go through the same 4 steps that I'm going over right now. Okay? So on that list, there's some tools at the bottom of the list on LegalShield.com, and you'll see those tools. There are DVDs you can hand out to someone. We have a new audio that's just 15 minutes long. It basically says, look, times have changed. Times have changed from working 40 years to get a gold watch at the end. And so, you may want to look at something different. And if so, why not Legal Shield? Okay, so we have different tools. The less you say, it's best. Y'all got that?
Oh, yeah.
Because some of us talk ourselves. People are saying, "Oh, I'm not interested." How do they know they're not interested? Unless you told them too much. Okay? So what do? Hey, Legal Shield. Well, tell me all about it. This is why I want you to listen to this. So I'm okay. I don't want you to hide the company. We're proud of what we do. But I just don't want you to do a half a presentation for them to make a decision based on partial information. Everybody with me? So allow them to see it like you saw it. And this is why you want people to at least check it out. Hey, listen, well, tell me a little bit more. That's why I want you to listen to this audio. Hey, can you share with me everything over the phone? Well, it's kind of like me giving you a haircut over the phone. You wouldn't ask me to do that, would you? Well, could you share a little bit? Well, it's kind of like a puzzle. With a few pieces together, you still can't see the whole picture. So I learned those type of things to say. And they say, all right, I hear you. So let's just meet at Starbucks for 15 minutes before we go to work, and that way I can give you the DVD. Or that way I can go over the flipbook presentation. Or that way you can meet with my business partner. Everybody with me? So my point is try to take it off yourself, and as you watch and listen to others do it, you get better. That's what I did. Okay? So we'll go over more of that in more of an in-depth training tomorrow for those who are coming out tomorrow. And then the third thing. So number 1 is your why. Number 2 is your list. Don't prejudge that list. Make a list of everybody you know. Please don't. I don't care who they are. If you don't even know their names. The neighbor 2 homes down from me, I never talked to in my life. Right? Neighbor 2 homes down. The person at the PTA meeting that I never say hi to, but I'm going to now. The person at the PTA. Write down the name, even if you don't know the number. Everybody with me? Because that's your next Millionaire Club member, perhaps. Number 3, schedule the launch of your business. We call it a private business reception. This just means put some people together.